Good morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. As you will notice, your Word Chapter 3 assessments have been opened. If I go out to my MTI, whoops, excuse me, let me minimize that one. If I go out to your My MTI site, you are going to notice that those in fact have been opened up for you. The Chapter 2 knowledge check and the Word Chapter 2 assessments were due yesterday by 11:55 p.m. There are a few of you who do not have them submitted yet. The good news is that you have until next week and to get those submitted, but you're going to want to get them submitted the sooner the better because remember there is a 10% per day deduction for not having your assessments in on time. So make sure that you're planning accordingly. I can't suggest strongly enough that you take a look at the weekly videos so that if you have any questions about how to do the assessments, that it will kind of help you. That is the reason that I do the weekly videos so that I can kind of give you a heads up as to what you're going to be working with, and maybe you know then what you need to focus on in the chapter. If you haven't been taking a look at the textbook, you might need to, especially as we get into some content area that might not be as familiar to you. But also don't ever hesitate to contact me, ask me questions. I will be more than willing to do whatever I can to assist you through the assessments. So taking a look, Chapter 2 work was due yesterday, but I'm still accepting late work. Just remember it's 10% per day late. So if you would have gotten 100%, you're only going to get a 90. If you don't turn it in until Tuesday, you're only going to get an 80%. So make sure that you get those assessments turned in as soon as possible. And then you can focus on the Chapter 3 work. Chapter 3 deals with working with some paragraph layout. So we will also be working with some tabs. You will see that the Chapter 3 knowledge check is due, which is due each week. It goes over the terminology within that particular chapter in the textbook. You can use your textbook to answer those questions in the knowledge check. And remember, in the upper left-hand corner, you can click, if you start working on your assessment, I don't think I can open it from here, but you can go ahead and you can click on submit in the upper right hand corner so that you can go ahead and work on that. And maybe if you aren't done with it and you need to save it, then click on save because you can come back to it later. So just make sure that you're using your resources. These are not meant to have anybody get poor grades or fail. The answers are within your textbook if you take a look at those, and that's why you have a week to do them, so that you have some time that you can focus on that. Moving on to Word Chapter 3, if I scroll down through my student view, you can see that Word Chapter 3, you have some assessments that are due. Just read through those pages in the blue section of your book. Remember, you're not required to do the actual projects in the book, but they're there to help you if you don't understand a concept. So you're going to have two assessments. One is the Chapter 3 number 1 assessment, and then the tabs assessment. So if I pull those up here for you, just so you can see them, the first one's going to have you working with basic paragraph formatting. Now I know that a few of you sent me an email and said that there were specific things that you couldn't do because you have a Chromebook. So if you come across a section where it needs you to apply a certain heading style or a certain shading style and you don't have that available through your Chromebook, please just be sure to do something. Like this one says you need to do some shading. So just apply some shading. A heading would be a different font style. If you don't have themes available to you, maybe just do what it says in terms of maybe changing some colors a little bit to make it kind of fit that category. The Chromebook situation is new for us this year. We haven't experienced that before with students, and so that is something that we're looking into, but I will try to do what I can to help you through that so that you can get your assessments submitted. Here's the text that you'll have to type in there so you can see what the figure comes from. The tabs assessment, you're going to notice that there's a video in the assignment link that helps you with setting tabs. You can set tabs on the ruler or you can set tabs through the dialog box. basically what you have to do for the tabs is you have to create this document. So it should look like this or similar to this when you're finished. So you're going to notice that you have a left tab set here because everything aligns on the left. You have a center tab here. You have a right tab here. Now you can go in and set specific point locations for these on the ruler, or you can go to your dialog box. I'm just simply asking you to set whatever tab is there and eyeball it so that you can put that in there. You can see here you've got right aligned and you have left aligned. So it's a little different than what you're used to. Here you're using the dot leaders. Here you're using line leaders. So you're going to have to think about these a little bit. How many tabs am I setting? Are they left aligned, right aligned so that I can get that line in there? Here's some more dot leaders with some numbering. And then again, you have some more line leaders. You know, I would say here you probably have a left and maybe another left and then another left. So you probably have 3 tabs set just to make this. So a left tab with a line leader, another left tab, or this could be a right tab with a line leader. And then you're going to have another tab. And then you're going to have a leader on this tab, and then you're going to have another tab. So you could have 6 to 8 tabs set through this one line just to get it to look like that. So that's the assignment in terms of the assessments that you're going to be doing. I do want to pull up a Word document and just show you from the dialog box what you're going to be looking at. Let me just do a Control N. So here's our new document. So like I said, you can create your tabs on a ruler. Here's your indent marker or your alignment. So there's a left tab, and I can click my left tab. Maybe I want it set at 1. So there's a left tab. Then maybe I'm going to change this one to a center tab. So I'm going to come over here and maybe set it at a 3. Oh, that's a right tab. And then I'm going to set another right tab at a 5.5. Now, if I want to set this tab again, I can drag it into the white space. I can scroll through my tabs till I get to a center tab. And then I can go ahead and set that one. That's a decimal tab. I can't see with my screen recorder on here. Let me go. Let's try this one. Is this center? Yes. Okay. So I can drag those into the white space to get rid of them. The other thing I could do is I can double click on a tab, and it will take me out to the tabs dialog box and show me exactly where those tabs are set. Now, I can also get to the dialog box under paragraph. I can click on the dialog box arrow and then click on tabs. So let's say I wanted to clear a tab. I can highlight it and I can choose clear. If I want to clear all of them, I just simply choose clear all. By default, tabs are set every ½ inch. So if I want to change my tab stops, I could say I want this one 1.25. I type it in the box. And what is it going to be? A left tab? So I could choose set. You have to choose set so it shows up down in this area. Then the next one, maybe I'm going to make it 2.25. And maybe with that one, I'm going to make it a right tab and I'm going to set a dot leader. So you've got dots, dashes, and lines. And then again, I have to choose set. If you make a mistake on a leader, you can click on it and then go make the change and click on set again. So if I click OK here, notice my tabs have changed. So when you set a tab, you use the tab. So I hit the tab key and I type in my name and I hit tab. Notice I get the dots, and then I could put that I'm in TC 162 and press enter. I could hit a tab and hit tab again, and I could say 164. So you can see what those dot leaders do. 163. When I put the TC in there, again, it's just going to take away from the amount of dots, but everything's aligned the way it's supposed to be. If I made a mistake and I want to make these wider, highlight your tabs, click on the tab marker, and drag it out as far as you need to. That's kind of the nice thing, that if you've made a mistake, you can go in and adjust that. So if I want to go on and do some different tabs, I hit enter a couple of times, and then I can either go into the dialog box and clear all, or I can just drag these down into the white space and it will clear those tabs. Now I can set some new tabs. So I've got a clean slate. I can come over here and change my alignment button. Maybe I need to do some, I don't know, maybe I need to do a decimal tab. So I can set that tab wherever I want it to be on the ruler. Whoops, I got to get it set. There we go. Okay. So there's my decimal tab, 0.09, and then I type another one, and then I type another one. What I want you to notice here is how it keeps, whoops. And I don't have any leaders aligned for those. So those are just some different tab stops that you can use as you're working through your assignment. Again, when we talk about leaders, we talk about them coming before. So just make sure that if you're working with a leader that comes before, that you think about that a little bit too. So I'm going to drag this one out into the white space, and then I'm going to go to my dialog box for tabs. And I'm going to go ahead and set a tab stop at 0.75. We'll make it left and set. And then I'm going to go 1.25, and I'm going to choose a line leader. And I will leave it left justified, and I will choose set. And then maybe I'm going to set one at 1.3, and it's a left tab and set. So I'll check those tabs. You can see that I have a leader set at this one, and then I'll choose OK. So I hit tab and I type 1.tab. Let me go back. So I hit tab. There's a line, and I hit tab. So I just added the blank is a blank to add my answer. So maybe the answer would be line. But that's an example of how to use a line leader as you're working with those. I could also do tab 1, tab, line leader, tab. This is question number 1. So that's a way to be able to use leaders as well. If, as you're working through the assignment, you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm more than willing to help you through whatever I need to. Have a great day.